It's called a river. This is John. He is playing the song he made for his wife River. She has pervasive developmental disorder, which is known as autism. This disorder affects her ability to communicate and interact with other people. Plus, right now, she is suffering from an illness that can take her life. Even though her illness was diagnosed in its late stage, it is still treatable. But the dilemma is, if they were to use the money to treat her illness, then they can't afford to fix the lighthouse named Anya. And for River, Anya is her source of happiness. Even after she's gone, she wants John to look over Anya. She wants him to visit her, speak to her, and comfort her. River choosing Anya over her own life, a life which can be spent a little longer with John, so John can't seem to comprehend River's wish. Neither he can be selfish enough to go against it. Johnny, yes, I made this. Tell me what it is. It's a rabbit, like all the others you made. What else? It's made with paper. What else? Its body is yellow and the rest is blue. Good. What else? This conversation feels like River wants to hear something from John, but she's not able to. She has this stuffed platypus toy close to her and she always makes paper rabbits, to the point that the entire house is filled with it. After a few years, River passed away, but John honored her wish. It's finished, River. Like you, I will be able to watch over her every day. She won't be alone anymore. As his time is slowly coming to an end, John does not have regret of following his late wife's wish. He doesn't regret fixing the lighthouse over treating his wife's illness. Instead, he is filled with confusion. Confusion of not understanding his wife's wish, and it is slowly eating him away. Enough sadness. To the Moon is a point-and-click story-driven video game released on November 1st, 2011. Yes, it is that old. In this video game, Dr. Watts and Dr. Rosaline help people in deathbed to relive their life one more time. This new life becomes the last thing the patient remembers before drawing their last breath. But the changes don't happen in real life. It only occurs by altering the past memories of the patient, resulting in their last wish being fulfilled inside their head. I guess this technology is used to give people a sense of peace during their last breath. I wonder what will be my last wish when I get older. I want to be surrounded by my waifus. The next patient of Dr. Watts and Rosaline is Johnny. Johnny's health condition is severe right now. He has a max of 2 days left before he passes away. His later days were filled with confusion of not understanding his wife. He couldn't understand why she suddenly kept making paper rabbits. He couldn't understand why she chose the lighthouse over herself. Therefore, as his last wish, he must have wanted to understand his wife, or at least spend his older days with her. No. John wants to go to the moon. He doesn't know the reason himself for wanting to go to the moon. It's more like his soul just wants to. Now, to make it happen, Dr. Watts and Rosaline have to leap backward in John's memory and transfer the registered desire to his childhood so the machine can generate a new life where the desire dictates his behavior. Let's act like whatever I just said you understood it. They can't go straight into the childhood memories of John. It depends upon the importance of the memento on how far they will leap back into the memory. For now, the memento is this paper rabbit made by his late wife River. With the help of that memento, they leap back in memory, but I will explain the story from the early stage of his memory so that it can be easier for you all to understand. The earliest stage is not accessible for some reason, so the next accessible early stage is this. Small John trying to ask out River. He has some weak rays, but he still begs River for a movie date. That's my boy. Now steal her platypus toy and run away. But the reason for little John asking out River is rather pathetic. He wants to hang out with River because she feels different from other kids. By hanging out with River, he feels like it will make him stand out from everyone. He wants her for what she has, but not for her. However, little John does not know that River has autism. It was not River's choice to feel different from other kids. Sitting alone during the lunch break, having no friends to communicate with, I'm pretty sure River does not want it, whatever John thinks she has. Nonetheless, they go to watch the movie together. I have to admit, they really look cute. Time passes on. John and River find out that she has autism, and the doctor tells John to read the book about autism. He rejects. It is not explained in the game why he said no, but I guess he accepts River for who she is. Further in the future, we get to see River and John riding horses, them getting married beside the lighthouse and dancing together inside it. I wish I had someone like River. One day, John reveals the reason for approaching River in school. He feels guilty for tainting their first meeting like that because his motive was selfish. I'm glad he at least shared it with her, but after this conversation, River began to make those paper rabbits. Since they can't access the earliest memory of John, they used what they had and transferred the desire to the system, but for some reason, nothing has changed in the future. Old John is still the same with the desire to go to the moon. Dr. Watts and Rosalind try many things like changing the movie John and River was to a movie related to moon, convincing John to join NASA, but nothing seems to work. After a while, they give up for the day. They can't figure out why they can't access John's earliest memories. They have to think of something because John's time is ending soon. Next day, they receive the information about John's hidden medical records. Apparently, during his childhood, he had taken large doses of beta blockers, which causes to lose memory. The memory John had forgotten was the loss of his twin brother Joey and the very first meeting with River. From the early age, John admired the beauty of stars while River saw them as lighthouses because even if stars look to be closer, in reality the distance between each of them is large and all they can do is shine light from afar. This is why River wanted to befriend them because she understands their loneliness. In some ways, she is like the stars due to her autism. Even when she is being surrounded by so many people, she feels like she will never be able to relate with them. When River asked what constellation John sees in the sky, his imagination was stars as head and legs, with moon being the belly of a rabbit. Also, the toy platypus was given by John to River. No wonder she always kept it beside herself. John and River promised to meet again at the same place, same time, but what if one of them were to forget or get lost? John answered, then we can always regroup on the moon, silly. The reason River kept making those paper rabbits and asking its characteristics to John was she wanted to remind John that they had met before, but due to her autism, she couldn't express it properly. She probably thought John forgot their very first meeting and he never understood her. But to John, he forgot his first meeting with River due to medicines. That's why seeing his wife keep making those paper rabbits, choosing the lighthouse over her life, made him feel the guilt of not knowing her to the very end. Still, he wanted to go to the moon even unconsciously so he could regroup with River once again. Finally, the system works now. John and River are going to the moon together, but we can see the real John is trying to reject this memory for some reason until River puts out her hand to hold John's hand. Finally, John accepts it. This will be the only memory John will remember before he dies. This game breaks people because it has a mask of good ending, but deep inside it has a really sad reality. Even though John got his wish fulfilled, in real life he never got to fully understand his wife, and for River, she never got to remind her husband of their first memory. I am a competitive player. I sweat my ass in the gold lobby of Valorant. Rarely I play any story-driven games, but I enjoyed my time with this game. It made my eyes wet, it put a smile on my face, it made me want to dance with someone. This experience made me realize that I really enjoy playing games and I can't wait to play more in the future and hopefully share it with you all. With that saying, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Bye.